Hi everyone. Okay, so it's me, Mila Rose, and I'm back. And I have a new video working on some new things. If you can't tell from the book I have sitting on here that will be included in my 22 and 2022, we are making writing vlogs now. Because I have wanted to write a book series, which I don't know if it'll still be a series, but I have an idea in my head that's something I'd like to write, and I want to get it out. I'm going to make it happen. So this is the year where I actually sit down and go through it and commit to it, because I've made videos about it now and I'm going to post them, which means that I will have some sort of accountability in this process. So adding to my mini list of things that I like to do to design a life I love, here we go with some writing content. So if you have not already, go ahead and hit subscribe. I make all kinds of videos, budgeting videos, vlogs, movies with Mila, where I talk about the movies that I've watched and give my thoughts about them. I have Read with me, and I have books on, or videos on books. And now we're getting into writing. I will have a very small, probably also portion of my channel that will go towards my running journey. And that's going to be probably all the content that I make. But who knows? I'm open to anything, because I'm literally just going to share whatever it is I do that makes me happy and brings joy into my life and helps me to work towards my goals. So here's where we are, right? I have this tool binder that I made specifically for my book. And it's got some old things that I was interested in, a map, it's got kind of the breakdown, it's got some of the information, but I did have a schedule, and that's really what I want to look at. Oh, writing timeline for the decade, because I'm like, this was going to be a big project, right? It was supposed to start in 2020, as you can see for book one. I was going to do research / outline in 2020 for January through March. Then I was going to write the first draft from April of 2020 through March of 2021. I was going to revise and edit for a year, and then I was going to send out some type of way of publishing. That was supposed to be this year. Well, pandemic happened, and none of that really got done. I would say the most that I've gotten, the furthest that I have gotten, has been to start devising some form of a draft. I did start on the research. So as you'll see in as you've seen in my Read My Books for 2022, a lot of those books are connected to some of the research that I want to do for this book, but not all of them. And some of it is just more independent information that I got to pull that I could probably just look up. But one of the things I struggle with the most is really just the plotting. I do follow Sarah Cannon, or Heart Breathings, and she has some fantastic plotting content. She is a prolific writer. She writes all the time. She has a ton of really successful books, successful series. So I like to watch her for inspiration, but I also am for information about how to outline. But I also am reading through this book, Save the Cat Writes a Novel, in order to get even more information about how to go about that plotting. Now, I do know there's a whole plotter versus pantsers, but I feel like I'm a mix of both. I know that sometimes that, I guess, can be seen as controversial. I think some of the dramas and things that happen in these worlds, BookTube, AuthorTube, WritingTube, whatever you call it, are a little wild to me, because I'm just like, it doesn't really matter, but maybe it does, and maybe you do feel very passionately about it, and if you do, yay, fantastic. I don't care about how you do it, just if it works for you. And I think that's really truly what I am wanting to get down to the nitty gritty of, is what actually works for me. One thing is that I'm like, am I trying to do too much? Last year, like many, well, in 2020, I work in public health. So in 2020, like everything was just like put to the curb. But that was by force because my energy had to go towards something else. In 2021, by choice, I put on hold a lot of the things that I wanted to work on and that I was interested in. I made very small goals for things that would be pretty achievable, but still make some progress towards some of the things I was interested in relationship to. I do have some products that I like to make. I like to make candles. I like to make incense. I like to make bath salts. I am interested in the world of beauty, and not as a beauty influencer like the makeup folks, which I do love makeup, so don't read anything into that. But on the side of how we cultivate habits and how we interact in the world around us, and the actual aesthetics, like old school philosophical aesthetics, and not just like, this is what I like to dress like aesthetics, and how that influences and impacts our beauty. That was my area of interest when I was doing my undergraduate studies, and up until like my first year of graduate school, I've focused on beauty standards and things related to that because my background is in sociology. So I'm still interested in those, just in a different way. And I definitely am like, I know there's so many people, they love to talk about like the history of beauty and standards and all of that fun stuff. But I think because I did that so intensely for a couple of years, I am definitely over that. But I still understand how beauty influences us and how large of an impact it has. So I have all of that, right, going on one hand. But I also have these creative endeavors that I'm really interested in, and writing is one of them. I have always loved writing ever since I was little, like most folks who are into writing. I guess like most of us burnt out millennials. I loved writing as a child as well, and that's when I was younger. And then I would say in high school fell off, definitely. And then in undergrad, all my writing, and in graduate school, all my writing was for school. So I didn't want to do anything else, right? So now that I'm like done with school, other than the fact that I do have another goal I'm interested in, but I'm not going to talk about that, that is slightly related to school. Now I'm like, okay, you've done all that and that was great. You have fun. I'm in a field that I enjoy. I can still utilize my degrees and put that to work and do something that I find to be very fulfilling, intrinsically and extrinsically. But now I want to get back into the creative side. But I have to figure out, I have the idea. I got to figure out how to get the idea fleshed out further, and how to, what I want it to look like and what I want it to be like. I think one of the things, so another area of interest that I have is personality types. And I am an INFP, Enneagram type 4, astrology, Pisces rising, Libra sun, Leo moon. Commitment and following through on projects is not my strong point. I'm an ideas person. I am a creative person. I am not necessarily the follow through, get work done person. And I think that's another thing that I have to really, I'm working on the habit side of things in order to finish the product side of things. Because for me, I get glimpses. I have patches. You can see here, I'll flip through a little bit where, so I have this divided into books. And I just got to the point where I was like, just write. I think it's in here. And so I was just writing snippets. Here we go. I was just writing snippets. Like whatever I could just come up with to write, to just write. I was just writing. That's not cohesive. And obviously it didn't really amount to a book. Surprise, surprise. So now I'm like, all right, we are recommitting. I was able to get through Vlogmas, and I actually really enjoyed it. Vlogging is fun. The editing isn't that bad, even though I do want to work on my editing. But I'm like, if I could do that, then I can commit to bringing in some of these other goals I have and getting the work done on that. And if I know I have videos coming up, then it gives me that external pressure to actually get something done. So that's where I am. This is the writing intro. And so I think actually this timeline does work. I think I just need to change the years. I think once I get that done, my cat's here. So it just pushed me back 2 years. I think I put an extra time in between this one. I'm still not sure if this is actually going to be 4 books. Maybe it'll just be 1 book. I don't know. I felt a little bit like the story I really want to tell is the story from book 2. And so I'm like, maybe book 2 is actually just the book I need to write. We'll see. But I need to make some actual goals, right? So let's see where I have some empty pages. And let's see what I can get out. There's some of that writing, that just random writing that I did. Okay, here's some paper. Okay, so I know for sure I'm gonna do writing videos on Wednesday. Wednesdays are for writing. And I'm not sure. So here's where I am. I don't know if I should focus on time, like I write for a certain amount of time, or if I should focus on, hey Bibs, come on in. Or if I should focus on, close the door. My cat's trying to eat my plants. Or if I should focus on trying to get a certain number of words. I am not entirely too sure, but the thing I do know is that I have to commit to the writing process, right? So I think what I'm going to start, okay, let's experiment, okay? And let's figure out what works. We are going to commit to, in January, every Wednesday, at least starting now, starting January, I think it's the 14th already on Wednesday. The 12th. On the 12th, we're going to try the time first. We're going to write from 7 to 9. I actually think though I think I'm going to hang out with a friend this Wednesday. So instead of, maybe I won't do 7 to 9, I'm going to do 2 hours because I don't know if I'll be able to be home from 7 to 9, but I could get up earliest. I just need to put it in my calendar. And we're going to see how many, so we're going to do January 12th. Let me get the rest of my calendar out. I have a little calendar. Maybe I should be using my little calendar. I don't know. January 12th, January 19th, the 26th. Okay, and let's do February 2nd. And then we're going to do a review for February 9th on if successful. And we're going to try to put aside 2 hours. And we're just going to try to get that done. Just 2 hours dedicated to plotting so we can make some progress. And then from there, on February 9th, we will create plan for February/March. Especially since I'm going to try writing a word count. That's what I want. A word count writing goal. So that'll be the plan. We'll see how that goes. But the commitment is there. Now, ideally, I will be to a point at some point where I'm writing. I would really like to write, if not every day, every other day. Or to see if maybe if I do like a season where I focus only on writing, like maybe in the wintertime or in the summertime, like that's my season where I don't work on products. I don't work on anything but writing. Like that's the only creative endeavor that I'm doing is writing. I think that's probably my best bet. It's to give myself some time where like that is my main objective. I think right now will be a great time to focus on getting that research done in the winter and then being ready to kind of sit down and actually like put it out there in the spring. So we're going to make a soft goal of focusing on writing in the spring. All right, so I'm going to move this out of this section, put it up in the front so that I see it, and I'm going to add it to my planner. And I will put this in my planner for when I do my plan with me's on Sundays. So that's it, y'all. We're getting started. We're going to make this happen. So I will see y'all every Wednesday. That is my accountability. I will be here every Wednesday with a video with a writing update. So thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. Let me know if you're writing, if you've written before, if you self-publish, if you've traditionally published, if you just write for yourself. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what's worked for you. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.